Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 11 Episode 9. As is the norm with all my videos, I won't be holding back on any spoilers, so please do keep that in mind. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. The Reaper story arc is finally over. Hooray! The worst villains in The Walking Dead are gone. Hooray! The Commonwealth arrive at Alexandria. The story is actually moving forward now. Hooray! Connie reunites with Daryl. Hooray! Father Gabriel is a badass, hooray! Alden is dead! In all seriousness, this was a pretty damn good episode which delivered things that I've been crying out for this season, and it ends the Reaper arc in a satisfying manner whilst leaving me excited for the rest of the show. This episode picks things up from when episode 8's abrupt cliffhanger ending left things, with Negan and Maggie in the firing line from Leah's Houcher. If that's how it's pronounced, I have no idea. Now, as expected, these two don't get blown up to smithereens by some rockets. I mean, maybe they would have done if this episode was directed by Rian Johnson, but nope, they don't get killed. Instead, they make their way inside the Reaper compound, whereby they reunite with Elijah, and then the three of them come up with a plan to lure the Reaper Carver into a trap. Carver takes the bait, and even though he is surrounded by 3 people, and of course, the protagonists outnumber him 3-1, he still manages to hold his own, for a decent length of time, and in fact actually gets the upper hand on the protagonist, and that's simply because he's just a better fighter than all 3 of them. I mean, Negan in particular, he's knocked down on his ass a couple of times and made to look a fool, and I guess some, hardcore Negan fans might be a bit upset about that, but personally I don't mind, because, I've never really seen Negan as a trained fighter. I've never seen him as a particularly competent fighter. So, yeah, it didn't really bother me that Carver made short work of him, to be honest. Even though Negan might not be a kung fu master, he is cunning like a fox, and he manages to go into this other room because the fight takes place in the hallway, and he goes into one of these rooms and finds a bell, and he comes out and he's taunting Carver with this bell. Carver takes the bait, and then he flings sand in his eyes and then knocks him out with the bell, and then says, well, ding ding. And that's so cheesy. It's one of the cheesiest lines on The Walking Dead, and normally this is the kind of thing that I hate, and normally the kind of thing that I complain about, but you know what, I didn't hate it. I actually liked it. I actually laughed out loud. I thought it was funny. It's in keeping with Negan's character. It's the kind of stupid stuff that he comes out with, and I liked it. So, sorry if you thought I was going to moan about it. I thought it was funny, even if it was dumb. This fight scene is pretty epic, and I wrote down in my notes whilst watching this episode that this fight was Daredevil-esque because, 1, I guess it takes place in a hallway. There's so many bloody hallway fights in Daredevil. And 2, because it's just choreographed really well, because the fights in Daredevil are, really good to watch, and so is this fight. And, yeah, it does look like they're really trying to make the fist fights in The Walking Dead, they're trying to make them better choreographed and trying to go all out. I mean, there's another fight where Daryl is against this Reaper, one-on-one. He's battling this Reaper. And, it's again, that's really well choreographed as well. I mean, they're kind of dodging each other's attacks. They're blocking each other. And, yeah, I just think it shows, that they're putting effort into these situations in the show at the moment. Father Gabriel is also at Meridian with Elijah, Negan, Maggie, and Daryl, but unlike the 4 of them, he doesn't get into epic fights this episode. Instead, he just has some epic moments in his own right. I remember reading a comment on my 10 things that I want to see from Season 11B video, in which someone said that they wished that Father Gabe and the Reaper Priest had come face to face. Well, that's exactly what happens this episode, so I guess someone from The Walking Dead was spying on my videos and looking through my comments for suggestions, because that definitely happens. Anyway, so yeah, these two come face to face with one another, and, after some back and forth about God, and, after the Reaper Priest saying that, oh, you don't listen to God anymore, you're not listening to his voice, and blah, blah, blah. Basically, he offers Gabe his hand in peace and says, look, let's put down our weapons, let's go down the peaceful route, and we can be an example to the rest of our groups. And, if we go about finding peace, they will all follow. Now, I still can't make up my mind as to whether this guy was going to be genuine here, and, if he was actually going to lay down his arms and, yeah, and be peaceful with Gabe, or if he was just doing it as a ruse, to try and get Gabe to come close to him, and then he's going to, stab Gabe in the chest and kill him. I don't know. I don't know. I still don't know. But if I was in Gabe's shoes, I would not have trusted him at all. No way would I have trusted him. I would not have taken that chance. And when watching this scene, I was just thinking to myself, come on, Gabe. You got to kill him. Come on, Gabe. Just kill him. For a moment, Gabe does hesitate, and, I started getting these kind of Vietnam-style flashbacks to Fear the Walking Dead, because it just reminded me of Morgan, because I was thinking, oh no, he's going to go down the all life is precious route here. He's not going to hurt him, and we're going to be talking about peace all, on this show all the time. But luckily that doesn't happen. Gabe stabs him in the chest or the stomach, wherever. And Gabe says to him, yeah, the Lord wouldn't allow you to kill my friends, or God wouldn't allow you to kill my friends, and neither will I. And I love Gabe. I mean, this just further solidifies him as one of my favourite characters on the show left. I think he's a great character, and he has some brilliant lines and some brilliant moments in this episode. Another moment of his that I really liked is when he takes out Leah's sniper off screen, and then Leah is trying to contact her sniper by the radio, and she's like, oh, hey, Jensen, are you there, Jensen? And Gabe answers, and he's like, nope, no Jensen here. Call me Father Gabriel. And again, like the Negan, ding ding line, or dong ding dong, whatever it was line. Yeah, it's cheesy. It's really cheesy, but I liked it. I thought it was cool. I like Father Gabriel. I like Father Gabriel doing cool things. That's all you got to do to keep me happy. I guess I'm easily pleased. So yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cool. I think this episode treats its characters well. It treats its main characters well. It gives them, cool and interesting things to do. And yeah, I liked it. The Reaper portion of the episode ends with the protagonist coming face to face with what's left of the Reapers as they try to negotiate a deal for Carver, who they've taken hostage. So Daryl basically takes the Carver hostage, and he hopes to trade him, for food and a safe passage home, because he knows that Leah really cares about Carver for some reason. At first, Leah is reluctant to budge at all, and she kind of comes across being quite cocky about it because she believes that she still has the sniper on the roof, but that's until she realizes that Gabe has killed her sniper, and then her tone changes massively, because then she's like, right, you can have the food, you can have whatever you want, have this place, just let us go, please, let us live. And it's at this point that Maggie actually turns to Negan and says to Negan, what would you do? And I love that. I love that moment because, Negan has been offering advice to Maggie all season so far, and even if the advice is good, she just rejects it. She just rejects it because she's like, nope, you're Negan, I'm not listening to you, nope. But in this situation, she asks Negan his advice for his opinion, which shows progression. I really like that. I did not expect that at all. And Negan says to Maggie, you know what I do, which I think is referring to the conversation that these two had around the fireplace earlier on in the season, in which he says to Maggie that, if he could do things over again, he'd kill everyone in her group, kill all of Rick's group, because Negan knows that, loose ends are dangerous. Loose ends come back to haunt you. So he's basically, I think, telling Maggie in this situation, don't let them go. Don't let them go, because they will come back, they'll try and get revenge. Don't let them go. At first, it appears that Maggie's going to reject Negan's advice as she lets them go. But then, after she sees Elijah, and Elijah is sort of reminding her of the people they've killed, she just snaps, and she takes the gun that Daryl gave her previously out of her back pocket and just starts mowing them down, shooting them all in the back. And it's pretty epic, to be honest. I really enjoyed this scene. I liked the reaction that Negan and Daryl both had to the scene. Their contrasting reactions, because I swear Negan almost gives like a half smirk. He's kind of, it seems like he's happy, or he's at least enjoying what's going on, enjoying the drama. And, he gives like his half smirk as he's watching Maggie. He's almost as if to say, that's it. Well, good job. Well done. Whereas Daryl, on the other hand, he's absolutely horrified. Like, he charges to Maggie, he runs towards her, and he's like, what the hell were you doing? What was that about? So, yeah, I love their two, opposite reactions to what was going on. I didn't expect this at all from Maggie, and I thought it was a really great moment. And, if you watched any of my videos, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of Maggie. I've said many times before that I think since Glenn died, she's been kind of boring on the show. I didn't miss her when she left The Walking Dead. I wasn't exactly, enthralled, pleased that she returned. I haven't really liked her since she's been back. But, after watching this scene, I was like, right, yep, I can get behind this. I can get behind this version of Maggie. I like this. This is good. So, yeah, good job. Admittedly, I think the scene could have been a bit better if the Reapers were better antagonists, because I wasn't kind of rooting for her to take down the Reapers because, I wanted revenge for her red shirt friends, or, I wanted revenge for Elijah's sister, because I don't care about any of them. I just wanted her to kill them because I just want the plot to move forward. I was just going, look, please just kill her, Maggie, so we can move on with the story, please. Please. So, I don't know, maybe that wasn't the reaction the writers wanted me to have, but it worked. I still liked it. Leah is the only Reaper who manages to survive, which is a bit annoying because I kind of just wanted to draw a line under this Reaper story arc and move on and, have no loose ends, but I guess it does make sense because, they couldn't really have Maggie kill Daryl's ex-girlfriend because there'd be no way back from that. These two would never talk to one another. But, yeah, it's still a strange decision. Like, I hope that she's alive because they have something, an interesting story planned for her in the future. I hope she's not going to just be there as, in the background. They've got to do something with her, otherwise why keep her alive? So, she's going to want revenge, and I don't know, maybe she'll end up killing Maggie even. Maybe she'll try and get revenge on Maggie, and she might kill Maggie like Sebastian kills a certain someone in the comics at the Commonwealth. Who knows? Anyway, after the Reapers are taken care of, Maggie goes back to the church where Alden was last seen, and surprise, surprise, he's dead. I think we all predicted this. We all knew this was coming. I think I said this in my prediction video, whenever that was, months ago. I made that before the start of season 11. I said he was going to die, and yeah, he's dead, and this scene didn't really have much of a reaction from me. I'm sorry, to anyone who's fans of his character, but I was just like, okay, he's dead. I've suspected he was dead for a long time. He hasn't been in the show for 6 episodes now, I think, since we last saw him, so it wasn't really shocking. It was just felt a bit strange. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I was just like, oh, okay, this is a shame. Let's move on. We then get a scene which takes place after Alden's death, in which Maggie is burying his body. And then Negan arrives, and yeah, I just found Negan to be very kind of weird in this scene, because like Maggie's mourning her friend's death, and then Negan's like, oh, Maggie, you're always going to do what you're going to do, someone like you. That sounds like he starts rapping then, but he doesn't do that. He's like, you're always going to do what you're going to do, you're always going to kill me, so I have to go, bye. And it just felt very weird, like it's not the right time, Negan, to be talking about this. Like, she's grieving her friend, and you've just turned up to lecture and talk about yourself, and now you've gone. So it's like, okay, bye, whatever. I don't know, I just found it really, really bizarre. Like, Negan could have waited to say that. He didn't have to do that then. He didn't have to disappear then. It just felt really odd. But then again, Negan is very narcissistic and only thinks about himself. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But yeah, that scene just was bizarre to me. And now that means Negan's gone, which I don't think bodes well for the rest of the show, because the final season of the show, I would have thought they would want to put Negan in as much as possible. I mean, he's one of the most popular characters, but now he's disappeared again. He keeps kind of running away, not running away. I mean, didn't in season 10, didn't he decide that he was going to stay at Alexandria? He wasn't going to back down. He was going to stay there, and now he's left again. So yeah, it's a bit irritating. But yeah, I don't know how well this is going to go down. I mean, I imagine he's going to be back at some point, but yeah, maybe the writers will surprise me. Maybe they'll move like Connie or Lydia to a kind of bigger supporting role, more central role now that there's a space, now that Negan's gone. I don't know, but yeah, a bit worried about the next couple of episodes if he's not in them. Anyway, let's talk about the goings on at Alexandria, which was definitely the weakest part of the episode for me. There was just a lot of really weirdly edited scenes going on at Alexandria, and it didn't all quite flow together. I don't know, it kind of felt like there was stuff that had been cut, or there might have been reshoots taking place, and there was kind of a lot of stuff that came up last episode that kind of felt like it went ignored during the scenes in Alexandria. So for example, at the start of this episode, one of the first scenes in Alexandria, we see Magna and Connie together, and they decide that they're going to find the breach in the wall in Alexandria. They're going to find it and stop the breach, I guess. And then we don't see that happen, which is kind of odd. I mean, maybe it was always intentional that they were just going to talk about it and it was going to happen off screen, but I don't know, I was kind of expecting, because they've told us what they're going to do, we would actually see it happen. And it felt like maybe there were scenes of these two fighting walkers, but the directors, whatever, just cut it because they thought, oh, we don't need it, it's not important. I don't know, it just felt a bit strange. And it was also a bit strange that, in episode 8, Connie and Carol went off together at the end of the episode to go investigate the windmill. And that led me to thinking that, we're going to see this happen in this episode, because we didn't see it last week, or when it last week, the last episode. We didn't see it then. So in this episode, we're surely going to catch up with Carol and Connie. But nope, that's just skipped over as well. It starts with them two returning to like a house where the rest of everyone is at Alexandria. And I think Jerry says like, oh, the windmill fire, it won't go out even though it's raining because the winds are stoking the flame or something. That's their answer as to why it's still on fire. And it's kind of annoying because I wanted to see Connie and Carol spend some time together, but especially considering that, Carol was the one who nearly caused their death. I wanted to see them two hash it out and Carol, talk about why she did it. And I know she's already said sorry, but they needed some time together. We needed to see it. But again, that was just skipped over. It's similar to how at the end of the episode, Eugene just shows up. He shows up, and last time we saw him, he was in prison. He was in a cell. And I was expecting to see him be interrogated, but nope, again, they've just skipped over that as well. So yeah, it all felt very rushed, the stuff at Alexandria. The scenes with Aaron saving Judith and Grace Lee were weirdly edited as well, because there's this scene of Aaron punching through the window to get into the basement, like the flooding basement. And the window doesn't look that big. It looks like it's a window that you'd kind of have to crawl through to get into. So 1 minute he's outside the window and he's crouching down looking into it. And then 5 seconds later, it's just him jumping in slow motion. He's in the basement jumping off the wall in slow motion. I was kind of thinking, how did he even get into that position? How did he get like on this through this window and jump off like this wet wall? I don't know. It just seemed really unnatural. You know, it was like they kind of skipped 10 seconds of footage. They deleted it or forgot to put it in because 1 minute he's outside the window, then he's just doing a flying like punch, a flying leap off the wall. And I was like, well, how the hell? What's going on here? How did he get there? Another thing that annoyed me about Aaron is that after he rescues Gracie and Judith and he like pushes them out of the what's the word I'm looking for, the basement, they then say to him, right, come on, we're gonna get you out of here. And he's like, nope, go on, go find safety, go on without me. I'll take care of this. I've got this. And I was thinking, well, you haven't got this because you've got one arm. How are you gonna get out? How are you gonna pull yourself out? How are you gonna escape with one arm? It's a bit stupid. So what he does end up doing is he like kind of shimmies across this pipe that's on the ceiling, which starts to break, and he's stuck there. And then Lydia sees him, and Lydia's like, wait, I'll help you. And then the next thing we see is Lydia pulling him out with a rope, like outside the window. But how did she get the rope in there? He's only got one arm, so it's not as if, I don't think Aaron could have caught the rope and then wrapped it around the pipe himself, and she couldn't have just thrown it around the pipe. So how did the rope get attached in there? I don't know. Again, just really weirdly edited. It doesn't make any sense. Come the end of the episode, the characters all make it back to Alexandria, apart from those who die or Negan who leaves. And now most of the protagonists are all in one place, which I really like because this is what I've wanted. I want the characters to be together in one place so the story can move on and, not everyone's fractured all over the place. That's what I want to see. So I'm happy with that. Connie and Daryl also reunite, which is something that I wanted to see, but I don't know, it kind of felt a bit underwhelming for me. Maybe that's because of the dialogue Daryl was given in this situation. I kind of expected Daryl to be kind of emotional in the same vein that he was in Season 7 when he was reunited with Rick, because this is a girl he thought was dead. I expected him to be tears down his face and to be really emotional, and now she's alive. And she turns up, and I know he drops his apples or whatever, but he's just like, oh, no way. I was like, is that really all you have to say? He's like, oh my God, no way. I don't know, I thought his first words would be a bit better, than, oh, wow, no way, you're alive, wow. Like, I don't know. Just felt a bit climactic even, yeah. I don't know, something just felt a bit off about it, And the way he was kind of like punching her, like guys do, hazing each other. Yeah, I got real kind of friend vibes from it. And I don't think these two will be getting together, even as much as I'd like to see it. It just doesn't seem like the writers are going that way. But yeah, I don't know. I expected him to be more excitable. Yeah, I know he runs over and hugs her, but like I said, it was something about his mannerisms, something about the dialogue he had that he didn't seem as excited or surprised as he should have been, in my opinion. But maybe I'm one of the few people who feel this way because I've looked on Reddit and there's so many people going, oh, it's amazing. Daryl looked the happiest he's ever been in this scene. It was beautiful. So maybe it's just me. I don't know. But it just didn't work for me. It felt a bit weird. The episode ends with Eugene arriving at Alexandria with the Commonwealth soldiers. And Hornsby enters Alexandria and he tells everyone there about the Commonwealth, what it has to offer. And he says that, you can stay here, we can help rebuild, or I think he says, I have a more interesting proposition for you, which I guess is, you can come with me and you can live with us, I guess. The last scene of this episode is a time skip. It's a scene which takes place 6 months into the future, with Maggie standing inside the Hilltop gates, protecting Hilltop, which is not what I expected. I didn't even expect to see Hilltop again. It hasn't been in... it was in season 10, wasn't it? But it seems to be that most of the characters are at Alexandria now. I didn't expect to see Hilltop again anytime soon. I certainly didn't expect her to be there defending it again, And I guess for what this means is that Maggie rejects the Commonwealth's offer. She doesn't want to join their group. And I was really shocked by this. I didn't see it. And then what happens after that is Daryl arrives outside the Hilltop gates with the Commonwealth soldiers, and he's in the Commonwealth armor. He takes off his helmet and... it looks like Daryl versus Maggie, which, again, something I didn't see coming. But yeah, it's interesting, I think AMC are clever for putting this scene at the end of the episode because it's certainly piqued my interest for the rest of the season because I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know, what's going to happen, and I'm excited to see it. I also think that the transition into this scene was really well done because Hornsby is talking at Alexandria and like the camera is focusing on like Carol, Daryl and Maggie kind of going around them. And it focuses on Daryl and then it turns to Maggie. And as it turns to Maggie, it then reveals that we're seeing Maggie 6 months later inside the Hilltop. And I just thought that was a really cool transition to that scene. One last thing I want to mention before I wrap up this video is like the music and the sound effects in this episode. I didn't really know where to say this, so I'll quickly talk about it now. There's two instances that I want to mention in particular. The first is when Aaron is fighting walkers under the water when he's in the basement. And like I heard like the gnashing of the walker teeth underwater, because I had headphones on listening to this episode, and that was really, really unnerving, that noise of gnashing teeth underwater and the sounds. I think that was really good sound choices, sound design. And when Maggie takes out the Reapers, the music used for that scene is brilliant. It just really makes the scene 10 times better than if it weren't in the scene. I can't explain why, but it just really works. So yeah, I like that. But yeah, that's about all there is to it, really. To summarize, I thought this was a good episode. I thought Gabe was fantastic. I like that the Reaper arc is done. I thought Maggie was good. Negan was great. I thought the stuff at Alexandria was a bit underwhelming, but at least that's all done now. At least that storm is finished, and we don't have to deal with that anymore. And I'm excited to see what's to come. The characters are all together now, and with them finally coming into contact with the Commonwealth, I'm excited to see where the Walking Dead takes its story now. It was a good episode. It's certainly one of the best of season 11. I've seen some people online say that this is one of the best episodes ever. It's in their top 10 best episodes, and I'm not sure I'd go that far. I think it looks better than it maybe perhaps is, just because of how kind of underwhelming the rest of season 11 has been so far. But this is good. This is what I want to see from the rest of season 11. More stuff like this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Goodbye. And a big thank you to all the channel members. Thank you for your continued support. So a big thank you to Jar Jar Binks 2421. Thank you to Mr. Gamer 100. Thank you to Henry Shepherd. Thank you to Mr. Clean Mon 55. I think I got that right. Thank you to Blocked Hat. Thank you to The Walking Dead Clem. Thank you to WLS Mojo. Thank you to Bacon Lord Kenzie 213. Thank you to Nick Russ. Thank you to the Ferg 717. And thank you to me. I don't know why I'm a member of my own channel. Don't know why I'm paying myself 99p. No idea. But anyway, thank you to everyone. And the members Q&A video, that's late. I apologise. It will be out soon. It should be out tomorrow. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but I'll explain why in that video. But anyway, thank you for your support as always. Goodbye.